I'm going to for you.
Welcome to a video on how to get good at the BFN pirate, perhaps the most chaotic sniper known to man, as giving this 700-year-old lanky heap of shit some 3-cost upgrade will allow him to become one of the most daredeviling motherfuckers known to man, and will be as efficient at surprising enemies as the Red Spider the Scout's mum with his quote-unquote pocket knife. Let's get started. The BFN Pirate is a defense class, designed all around the properties of being a little bitch, sniping at enemies, and looking at his secret stash of play zombie magazines. He only has 100 health, making him fairly frail and rather easy to take down if caught out of position. His primary weapon of choice is of a close-range shotgun that fires out multiple pieces of scrap treasure. From that one time he won the competition for fapping the longest without busting a nut. The weapon fires at 90 rounds per minute and has 20 ammo per clip before needing to take a 2-second reload. Each shot fired shoots out a total of 13 pellets in the following pattern, with each pellet dealing 2.36 damage. Additionally, a trapezoid dealing an additionally 4.72 damage per shot as well if the target is close to you. If you are not diagnosed with skill issue, then at most you can deal 35.4 damage per shot for a normal hit, and 41.5 damage if all of them land on the head. Every shot fired by the shotgun consumes 2 ammo, so you get to use the shotgun 10 times per clip. The shotgun does not have any damage drop off, but it has a rather large spread, and its projectiles slow down heavily at long range. In fact, the shotgun is one of the few weapons in BFN to have a hard range handicap, being able to only reach a total of 75 meters. Whilst this handicap won't come into play often, due to the spread of your shotgun making it ineffective beyond close range, it does mean that you can't just tickle enemies from halfways across the map and both annoy them, as well as stop them from regenerating health. You have to actually use your fucking brain and switch to your secondary fire, accomplished by pressing the aim button. Aiming will grant you access to the sniper weapon, which will be your primary way of sending people back to their fucking spawn, should they dare think it's a good idea to cross your sight line. The sniper weapon has 4 levels of charge, ranging from the uncharged shots doing a piss poor amount of damage, to the first and second levels doing okay amounts, but that's not what we give a shit about. The main star attraction of this piece of shit is the full charge shot, capable of dealing a total of 61.2 damage for a body shot, and if you are skilled enough to slam one straight into their fucking skull, then it becomes a devastating 98.5 damage. However, the more charged up a shot is, the more ammo is consumed upon firing the weapon. The ammo consumed can range from 1 for the uncharged shots to a maximum of 4 for the full charge. This will essentially force you to aim your shots carefully, as missed shots will not only consume a sizable portion of your clip, but also require you to wait a few moments before you can attack with a full charge once again. Additionally, when fully charged, enemies will see a bright purple glow that essentially broadcasts your location, especially in dark places. Keep this in mind and move to a different position after grabbing a few kills, or you will end up being fucked harder than the average YouTuber the moment they dare upload something that isn't what they usually cover, because of how much damage your sniper weapon does. A common practice you should get into the habit of is knowing you can kill your enemies.
Well, no fucking shit.
For example, against a sunflower, a full charged shot to the head will not instantly kill them, but will leave them with fuck all health. At this stage, provided they have not been overhealed, you can instantly follow up with an uncharged shot to kill them. This changes with other higher health classes, so it's best to memorize how much health they have and use the charged shots accordingly, as so that you can easily secure kills instead of whiffing them like your chances at getting a girl. The pirate's first ability is Barrel Blast. This functions almost exactly the same as its Garden Warfare 2 counterpart, in having the same slight speed reduction when hopping in, 3-second fuse, and 150 damage explosion upon detonating the barrel. The main difference here, in the land of BFN however, is that instead of the barrel giving you armor the equivalent to fucking ultimate quality in Dungeon Defenders, the barrel has its own separate health pool, having a total of 100 health. Whilst this still offers protection, it does add a new risk factor to the barrel, since the barrel can now actually be destroyed before it can properly detonate. Because of this, you will need to think strategically and either use it more in flanking unsuspecting plants, or if going for a direct attack, light the fuse earlier so that they have less time to destroy the barrel. Once the barrel either explodes or is destroyed, the ability will go on a 15-second cooldown. Oh, and as a word of caution, it no longer saves you from burrowing chompers, as that piranha plant reject will now just bypass that shit and not give a damn about any fucks you had to give. Luckily for you, however, you are not shit out of lucky when it comes to fighting chompers, thanks to Pirate's brand new ability, Anchors Away. This shit seems rather simple and pathetic at first glance, being useful as a tool to reach high ledges, but it does have its niche uses. The anchor that is fired, whilst it travels slow as shit, and is about as reliable as British weather, can deal 50 damage if it hits any unfortunate schmuck that happens to be in the way. This may not come into play often, but it can be useful in either a last-ditch effort to fight back, or a chance at humiliating the enemy. The other, much more useful niches, is allowing the pirate, if timed correctly, to escape the jaws of a chomper before they are swallowed. This can very easily allow the pirate to give the biggest fuck you to chomper mains known to man, and either use the window of opportunity to escape, or use it to put that big-headed purple prick right in his fucking place and let him know that you mean fucking business and that you shagged his mum back during the Call of Duty days. Once used, the anchor goes on a very short 10-second cooldown, so it will be available in almost every situation, so accidental uses are at best just mild inconveniences. The pirate's third and final ability is the Parrot Pal. Now, unlike its Garden Warfare 2 counterpart, the bird actually took some lessons in not being a floaty piece of shit, so now, its movement is much more responsive and accurate to what inputs you give to the drone. The drone has 5 health and lasts for up to 60 seconds, or until it is shot down, whichever comes first. The drone comes with its own primary weapon, a rapid-fire laser shitter that fires at 390 rounds per minute and can fire for up to 5.1 seconds before suffering an overheat, where it will become unavailable for the next 3.4 seconds. Each shot fired can deal 8 damage for a normal hit and 9.6 for a critical hit. No damage drop-off is present on the drone's weapon, but it does have slight drag drop-off at longer distances and is fairly accurate. The Parrot also has access to an airstrike of its own, though unlike the Garlic drone, the Parrot Pal deploys one massive cluster bomb that has a large 50 damage explosion initially, and many smaller ones that deal 15 damage each. Whilst admittedly not as powerful against lone targets, the Parrot Pal's airstrike is much more powerful against groups of weaker enemies, due to its cluster bomb-like nature and large area of effect. The airstrike goes on an 18-second cooldown initially when you summon the bird, and 18 subsequent seconds for every time you use the airstrike. Additionally, if the pirate himself receives damage at any point whilst in the drone, they will be instantly kicked out of it. The Parrot itself has a 25-second cooldown once it expires, so you will be able to constantly harass the backline with explosive diarrhea bird shit. In terms of strengths, the pirate specializes in long-range combat with its accurate sniper and higher headshot multiplier, allowing him to pick off key targets. His shotgun and barrel can also be used to provide self-defense in close-range fights, as well as repositioning safely at a moment's notice. Lastly, the anchor and Parrot Pal can be used to reposition to higher ground, as well as constantly harass weaker enemies constantly within the safety of your team. However, the pirate is extremely squishy, having only a total of 100 health, making him susceptible to burst damage. His barrel can also be destroyed before he can detonate it, making him vulnerable if caught out of position. Lastly, whilst he can escape from being burrowed, it requires the timing to be on point on the player's behalf, so there might be times where you are just unlucky. Now, in terms of upgrades, Pirate has many upgrades at his disposal that can easily transform him into a powerhouse of pure chaos and destruction. But there are 3 in particular that I would strongly recommend. The first is Incoming Keg, which increases your overall movement speed whilst in barrel blast by 75%. This makes it so that when you go into the fucking thing, you are essentially sprinting in the barrel, and when you light that fuse, you will become Sonic the Bastard Hedgehog for 3 seconds, and almost no one will be able to escape you. The second is Shore Leave, providing a 30% speed increase for 5 seconds upon landing after anchors away. This will be more useful as a general movement tool, either to reposition to new sniping spots or to chase after enemies. The final upgrade that I would strongly recommend is heavy metal. Upon using anchors away, you will get a full charge shot that you can whip out at a moment's notice, anytime you want. This is extremely powerful, as you can essentially quickscope someone for 98.5 damage instantly, and you get to hold the charge for as long as you want, so it will be useful for surprise attacks. Thanks to this guide, you will now be the master of kamikazing people to death, annoying people with explosive bird shit, as well as always running away like a pussy the moment the enemy team dares to hunt you down. Be sure to come back for the next episode next week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more shit like this. Have fun.